SEC Gymnastics. This week, the Tide of Alabama, led by sophomore Ashley Priest and senior Morgan Dennis, try to bounce back after suffering their first loss of the season. Meanwhile, the Florida Gators will be looking to freshman Ajane Dickerson and senior Miranda Smith to extend their perfect conference record. It's collegiate gymnastics at its finest, and it's here at the SEC on ESPN. Welcome inside the Coleman Coliseum on the campus of the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I'm Mark Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. This is a mid-season matchup between two SEC powerhouses in women's gymnastics. The host team, the number 2 Crimson Tide, led by Sarah Patterson in her 32nd year at the helm of the Alabama gymnastics program, looking this year for their 5th NCAA team title, perhaps. There is Rhonda Fain. She is the leader of the Florida Gators, ranked number 6 in the country right now. This is her 8th year with the program. 5 times she has been in the NCAA top 5, and she has a spectacular freshman phenom that we'll see tonight, young Ajane Dickerson, who is a thrilling gymnast to keep your eye on. First up for Alabama will be the freshman Marissa Gutierrez. Boy, she's had a great start for this season, just 6 meets into it.
Bart, I was so impressed with the Alabama team's warm-up on this event. Perfectly stuck landings throughout the warm-ups, one after another, and they start off the competition with a stuck landing. That's why they're ranked number 1 on this event in the nation.
This will be fast and furious. First up for Florida on the bars will be Elizabeth Malich.
Very, very strong event for Florida. Big, beautiful release move.
She's the sophomore All-American who says she loves the bars because she loves swinging.
She's swinging very well so far. Clean work, toes pointed, legs straight. Pretty good on all of her handstands. Very nice double layout dismount and another stuck landing. Off to a great start as well.
Marissa Gutierrez. Ashley Priest will be next up, the sophomore out of Wheaton, Illinois. For Alabama on the vault, the score for Gutierrez, a 9.875, a career high to start the meet.
Very nice vault, not quite the landing we've seen before, but very nice in the air.
Ashley Priest also off to a terrific start for the Crimson Tide this year. Did her club gymnastics at the Cincinnati Gymnastic Academy.
She's ranked 8th in the all-around so far in the country.
Good start for the 4-time All-American. Back to the bars now for Florida. This is the young lady we referred to at the top of the show, Ajane Dickerson, just a freshman, and she has a spectacular release move that we saw her warm up. We won't know if she's going to end up in the first row or not.
That's a good word for it, I think.
Ginormous. The score for Malich was a 9.775.
Very, very nice. Huge swing here. Nice handstand position on the transition. And the one thing Coach Rhonda Fain says they're really working hard with this young gymnast is her form, trying to get legs a little tighter, a little better toe point, but boy, does she have some big gymnastics.
You can see why Ajane Dickerson ranks in the top 20 in 3 events in the NCAA. Just a freshman, fun to watch. Back to the vault now for Alabama. Geraldine Stack-Eaton will be next. The score for Priest, a 9.825, ties her season high.
Very nice landing. Good vault again in the air. They show nice height from the vault table. Good distance. We call that amplitude in gymnastics. You want to see overall bigness of the vault. Very stretched out position.
Boy, Alabama rocking on the first vent tonight on the vault. Great start so far. Score for Dickerson on the bars was a 9.75. You mentioned, Kathy, a couple of deductions for form. Alicia Goodwin will be next. Goodwin's the junior All-American. this is her favorite event. This is really an event where she specializes.
Absolutely, and look at the form. In contrast, you really see the straight legs, pointed toes. Good position on that handstand. Judges really looking for those handstand positions to be right on top of the bar in that vertical position.
She tied for third last year at the NCAAs in this event.
Beautiful distance. Oh, little hop on the landing. I saw her stick that in warm-ups.
We'll be back with the score for Alicia Goodwin and update the standings when we come back. Don't go away, folks. More great gymnastics on ESPN. Back now for Alabama on the vault, Ricky Lebiger, and I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. The action is fast and furious here in Tuscaloosa. Oh, wow. My goodness!
That was gorgeous. Not only did she perform a much more difficult vault, a 1.5 twist, beautiful position in the air, but what a landing. Look at this. Doesn't move.
And before the break, her teammate Geraldine Stack-Eaton had a 9.925, a career high for her. Alabama having a career day on vault so far in the first of 4 rotations here. Wow. The score for Goodwin on the bars for Florida was a 9.75. That matches Dickerson. Castillo will be next.
Great to see her in the lineup, gradually getting back from surgery in March from a partially torn Achilles tendon. That is a tough injury in gymnastics.
7-time All-American.
Such a spunky competitor. From the first time we saw her as a freshman, she has really done some spectacular gymnastics in her career. Great finish to that bar routine.
Florida looking good on the bars as well. Strong mentally. That's what Rhonda Fain says about Amanda Castillo. Impressive senior. Kayla Hoffman will be next for Alabama on the vault. Lebiger score a 9.975.
Oh, a little bounce on the landing. She was trying hard to stick those toes to the mat.
The score for Lebiger in that 9.975, a career high. Boy, Alabama impressive here.
They're showing very good form, good technique on this vault. A little bit of a pogo stick landing on that one. Couldn't quite stick the landing.
Miranda Smith, the senior out of California. Next for the Gators on the bars, the 3-time All-American, typically an anchor-type performer on bars.
She's a great anchor gymnast. Really calm, cool, great attitude in the gym. I think a lot of her teammates look up to her for that.
She's certainly known as a leader. She's coming off a repaired shoulder surgery last year, and she's looking good here.
That's exactly what you need when you got a team full of freshmen.
Oh!
Awesome. Just that step back on the landing.
The score for her teammate Castillo, a 9.825, so Florida looking a little bit better on bars. Here could be a highlight. Morgan Dennis will cap it off for the Crimson Tide in this opening event. The score for Hoffman was a 9.875.
It's a big vault. Unfortunately, there's a hop on the landing, and we've seen so many stuck landings, so it's almost a letdown. Even though you see a great vault, you expect the perfectly stuck landing. She couldn't quite pull it off this time.
And she landed in Birmingham. That was pretty impressive technique for the former NCAA floor champion and 6-time All-American Morgan Dennis. Final performer for Florida on the bars will be Marissa King. She's just a freshman. Olympian for Great Britain in 2000, competed in last year's World Championship. She has great international experience.
She comes in with a lot of experience. Very strong gymnast. Physically, almost overbalanced that handstand.
Now keep in mind in the scoring here, the 6 gymnasts on each team, you count just the best 5 scores towards the team total.
Very strong bar performance by Florida.
Nicely done for the Olympian.
As you can see, she's really, really dynamic on this event. High position in that dismount. Finishes the double, level with the high bar.
And we'll come back with her score and update the standings after the first of 4 rotations. It's going to be a great night of gymnastics. Don't go away, folks. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Welcome back to the Coleman Coliseum here on the campus of the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, where this SEC dual meet between Alabama and Florida. Here are the scores for Alabama. Impressive in the first rotation on the vault, capped off by a 9.975 for Ricky Lebiger, and ties the season high for Alabama in the opening event. And for Florida on the bar, scores a little bit lower. The highest score is 9.825 for Castillo and Smith, and Marissa King at a 9.725 to cap out that rotation. So here are the team scores after the first of 4 rotations. Alabama off to an impressive start with a lead of a little more than a half a point over the visiting Florida Gators. Hi, everybody. I'm Bart Connor, along with my fellow Olympic teammate, Kathy Johnson-Clark, and we're going to see another great night of gymnastics. And you can see why the Alabama Crimson Tide are ranked #1 in the country on the vault. That was an incredible start, but they're coming off a very difficult loss last week to LSU, some uncharacteristic mistakes.
Bart, 4 falls on the uneven bars, an event that's historically been one of their best events. Most important, though, from it, they learned 2 of the most important lessons you can possibly learn. One of the falls caused by a grip malfunction. That should never happen. Another fall happened because she didn't regroup after the first fall. 2 huge lessons. We'll see what happens now on the bars.
Now for Florida, we talked to Rhonda Fain. More than half of their routines come from freshmen. So she said tonight, in front of this huge crowd in Tuscaloosa, this is an important opportunity for them.
It's a great opportunity for this very young team. And if you compare the team with the 2007 very successful Florida team that went undefeated during the season, then 3rd at NCAAs, Rhonda really thinks this is as an exciting and talented team as that one. So this is not only a great opportunity, but a gigantic test for them.
Last year we had a number of injuries that were challenging for the team. I felt we performed the absolute best that we have ever done last year at NCAAs because the team had so much heart. This year, it's full of so many new faces, so many new routines. It's definitely not rebuilding. It's adding on to the strength that we already had.
First up for Florida on the vault will be Dolly Lemazan. She's a walk-on. This is her favorite event and certainly her strongest event.
Huge responsibility for this freshman. Kicking off the vault here. Wow! Great landing.
How'd you like that gymnast to just walk in your gym and say, could I be on your team? Nicely done. Good start for Florida on the vault. Ricky Lebiger, and you remember her 9.975 to start off the meet on the vault.
And Ricky is who they chose to put back in the bar lineup after the mishap at the last competition when they had 4 falls. Their young freshman had 2 mistakes. Didn't regroup after the first fall. They had the second fall, which led really to the loss, because without that extra fall, they still could have won the competition. That's just something you learn with experience. And Ricky has got the experience. You can count on her in every competition, solid as can be, and good gymnastics.
See why she's the 3-time All-American, 3-time SEC champion as well in her senior year for the Crimson Tide. How about this? The score for Lemazan was a 9.9 career high to start it off for Florida. Courtney Gladys.
That's what a good landing will get you.
The senior.
Oh, just pulled that out and actually came up with a decent landing. It's a different vault, half twist front layout. She lands facing away from the vault table. A little harder to go for a stick. She handles it nicely.
We expect to see her tonight not only in the vault, but on the beam. Up next is Morgan Dennis, one of Alabama's team leaders. We asked her earlier what she told her team after their loss last week at LSU.
After LSU, I told the girls that we just needed to pick it up. I think we let some things get into our heads, like the #1 ranking, and we just can't let that happen, and our performance was inexcusable last week.
We saw her vault. Here she is on the bars. Lebegern's score was a 9.875, ties her career high. So scores are soaring tonight here in Tuscaloosa.
Big release move, very nice amplitude. The judges sit just to the side of the uneven bars, really looking for these handstand positions, especially the ones that pirouette. They need to hit that vertical position. Good landing on the dismount.
Back to the vault for Florida. Miranda Smith will be up now, 9.825 in her opening event on the bars.
And is an All-American on this event. Very nice vault.
Position.
Good amplitude. I was just about to say, in terms of direct comparison with Alabama on this event, they hadn't shown the amplitude, the height off the vaulting table until now. That's really nice amplitude. Good position. Notice how she even flares after the full twist.
And her teammate Courtney Gladys had a 9.825. Back now to the bars, Geraldine Stack-Eaton. We saw her 9.925 on vault. Correction on the score. Lebegern's score was a 9.75 on bars, not a 9.85.
Nice transition work, going from bar to bar. Very smoothly, good difficulty. Nice pirouette on top of the bar. Good landing.
The score for her teammate Morgan Dennis was a 9.75. We'll come back with her score and more of round two. Don't go away, folks. It's going to be good. Back on the vault now, Bart Conner and Kathy Johnson-Clark back here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Nicole Ellis now. Her teammate Miranda Smith had a 9.9, her season high before the break.
Nicole was limited last year after hip surgery. Boy, you'd never know it. Nice vault, of course. We've gotten so used to these stuck landings that you see that step. That's a deduction. But the judges are also looking for the position in the air, the height off the vault table, and the distance and direction.
Nicole Ellis, her favorite event is actually the bars, but she is a solid vaulter, just a sophomore for this very young team from Florida. Kayla Hoffman now, 9.875 in her vault. Let's see how she does on the bars.
Kayla had problems on this event against LSU, struggled, had a fall, and then, unfortunately, a grip malfunction. It came unwrapped. She didn't have the rubber bands that you typically wear to keep the straps around your wrist. And as Coach Sarah said, that is something that should never happen and probably will never happen again.
Her teammate Geraldine Stack-Eaton had a 9.875, a career high for her on bars before.
Great comeback on this event. Wow, did she fight for that landing. That's what you have to do. When fractions of a tenth of a point mean the difference. You fight for everything you got. Look how she holds those feet to the ground, arches all the way back.
Janae Dickerson now. The score for Ellis is a 9.85.
Big vault like all of her gymnastics. I'd like to see a little more fight on the landing to really try and get that stuck landing. Also needs to point her toes right here as she goes for the landing. She kind of flexes her feet a little early.
She just exudes potential. You can see her power and her style and technique. Clean it up a little bit, and she's going to be top of the rankings, isn't she? Cassie Price now. The senior out of Plantation, Florida, two-time All-American on the bars now. Score for Hoffman was a 9.875. So Alabama adding to an impressive round one on the vault. Really strong here on the bars as well.
And as impressive as anything, she's carried a 4.0 throughout her entire collegiate career. Great student, great athlete, and a strong team leader for this Alabama team.
She's ranked 5th in the country on the uneven bars.
Stronger team so far. Big finish. They are pumped.
Okay, now it's going to be a highlight. Marissa King, 9.725 was her effort on the bars. This ball is spectacular. We saw it in warm-up.
Bart, you and I have looked forward to seeing something different. Here it is. Wow, but she's 0 in on the landing, and that I cannot tell you how difficult that vault is. It's why you don't see it often.
You know why she said vault is her favorite event? Because it's over quickly.
That it is. As a former coach of mine would say, she has muscles in her teeth. And that just takes so much physical strength, power, speed.
The score for her teammate Dickerson was a 9.9. So great effort for the Gators on vault. Back to the bars now. The final performer for Alabama, Ashley Priest, 9.825 was her vault. She's ranked 9th in the country on the uneven bars.
Nice pirouette. Good combination here. Beautiful work.
We saw her earlier this year against Georgia score a 9.925 in this event.
Very good level of difficulty. Back-to-back elements.
Her teammate Cassie Price had a 9.875. Whoa!
Boy, she pulled that in a little too close and had to tuck those legs in.
Probably a smart move.
Absolutely.
Not a good result when you catch your feet on the bars.
Every single gymnast in the stands just jumped out of their seat as she pulled it off. Very, very nice sequence here. Back to back, transition down to the low bar.
And we'll come back with the score for Ashley Priest and Marissa King as well on the vault and update the standings at the halfway point here in this dual meet between Alabama and Florida. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Welcome back to Tuscaloosa. I'm Bart Connor, along with Kathy Johnson-Clark, calling this SEC dual meet between Florida and Alabama. Florida on the vault had their season best, 49.425. 3 scores of 9.9 for the Gators. Outstanding on the vault. Now Alabama went to the bars and their score of 49.175, the second best score of the season for them. So Florida regained a little ground back on Alabama. Here are the team standings at the halfway point. Separated by just .325, the host Crimson Tide over the Florida Gators.
Let's go, Ricky! Here we go, Ricky, let's go, Ricky! You got this!
Leading off for Alabama on balance speed, Ricky Lebecker.
The open competition now in the third of 4 rotations. Ricky Lebecker, the Rock. We've said that many times, but she's the person you want to open up on the beam. And, of course, Alabama leading the country on this event, very strong.
So far, she has come up huge for Alabama. With big scores, but her role as leadoff performer is so crucial to the success of this team. That's what I mean by fighting for landings. Slightly off, but she wheels it right back on.
We mentioned they lost uncharacteristically last week to LSU. After the mistakes on the bar, she came back and got a 9.9 in the leadoff spot on the balance beam. It's an enormous crowd here tonight in Tuscaloosa. Typically, they're averaging somewhere between 12 and 15,000 people every night. 5 home meets a year.
And Alabama is accustomed to this. Think about the freshman gymnasts on Florida's team. First time in front of a crowd this huge. Ricky has done another amazing job for them. Just solid as can be.
You're looking there at Corey Hartung, the 10-time All-American from the University of Florida. She is now a student assistant coach. She'll graduate this spring and hopes to extend her career into Cirque du Soleil, and we wish her well. Liz Green, the freshman out of Coppell, Texas, will open it up on the floor for Florida. Florida will go floor and finish on the beam. Alabama on the beam will finish on the floor. Coach Rhonda Fain said she likes her floor routine because she's very clean, precise. She's a good performer. She was the national junior baton champion. So she
Can perform, and she's got the smile going. And she's got the tumbling going too. Good landing so far. Very nice performance. You can definitely see the ballet training there, as well as the performance experience that she has.
She's one of those fabulous 5 freshmen for Florida. Cassie Price, 9.875 her effort on the bars, did not vault today. She's ranked 24th in the country on this event.
Second-team All-American on the balance beam.
Many of these gymnasts, excuse me, Kathy, she's suffered a rash of injuries like many of them. 6 years on the junior and senior national team, and great to see her here in her senior year. She was valedictorian of her senior class. I mean, she's done it all, and she has a chance this year to cap off a remarkable career at Alabama. Score for Ricky Lebegern was a 9.75 to open it up for Alabama.
Another strong routine.
The senior out of Plantation, Florida, happy with that effort. It's nice competing in front of a home crowd. Thousands of appreciative fans. There's David Patterson. We often talk about Sarah Patterson, but there's Sarah and David are the husband and wife coaching duo of this powerhouse here at Alabama. Now to the floor for Florida, Amy Ferguson.
Wow, beautiful front double twist.
Their favorite event, fast-paced routine, says it's a lot of fun for her to show off to the crowd. Had her career best on floor, 9-9 against LSU this year. You want to pick up this music at home, it's Samba Adagio by Safri Duo. Put that on your iPod. Score for her teammate Liz Green was a 9.725.
Solid.
Back to the beam for Alabama. Score for Cassie Price was a 9.8. Geraldine Stack-Eaton having a great day. Freshman All-SEC last year.
Geraldine's very pretty on this event, very clean form.
She competed at the highest level in the U.S. international ranking. She was 6th in the all-around at the 2007 USA National Championship. Very experienced elite athlete before coming to college.
Really is like having two separate careers. Elite gymnasts that then go on to college. And it's great to see them come and have such a wonderful time in college and really enjoying team gymnastics, embracing the concept of team. Beautiful form, nice flexibility.
Stack-Eaton did her club gymnastics at the famed Parkettes program. Back to the floor, Amanda Castillo, 9.825, her effort for Florida in the opening rotation.
Big test for this Achilles tendon, tumbling. Whoa, wow.
Wow.
That was a short landing. She did it very well in warm-ups. It's a lot of difficulty, full twisting double back.
It's hard to believe she underwent Achilles surgery last March. This is basically the middle of February, so not even a year out. And she's doing very hard tumbling skills. Teammate Amy Ferguson had a 9.775.
Good to see her back on floor. She's getting there.
Amanda Castillo for the Gators on floor. Back to the beam now. Marissa Gutierrez, the freshman who is having a fantastic year. Her career best on the beam, 9.825.
They ranked #1 on this event as well. They're fortunate to have Dana Dobransky-Duckworth as an assistant coach. She was a master of the beam as well, former national champion, 2-time national champion on this event. And more than that, she just worked the event so beautifully. So she demands a very high standard from these gymnasts. Puts together not only strong routines, but very pretty routines.
You mentioned Alabama's ranking. They're ranked 1st on the vault, 10th on the bars, 1st on the beam, and 2nd on the floor exercise. Those rankings are comprised of season average scores to this point. The ranking system changes to the regional qualifying scoring system after next week, which may change the rankings slightly in the United States. That system is different. You have 6 scores, you throw out the highest. You count 5 scores towards the regional qualifying, but 3 of those scores have to be from away meets. So they eliminate the possibility of having some high scores at home.
They definitely have a beam team here. That's what we used to say. We wanted to be a beam team. If you're going to win a championship, you got to master that event.
Back to the floor for Florida. Score for Castillo at 9.6. A couple of low landings cost her. Now Marissa King.
After seeing her vault, I can't wait to see the tumbling. She's just power top. Maybe double front.
She's a late addition to the team. She enrolled for spring 2010 for Florida. What a treat to have her high level of difficulty on this impressive Gator team. Rhonda Fain told us before the meet that a lot of teams use a strong opening tumbling pass and a strong closing tumbling pass, but she's trying to make that middle tumbling pass high degree of difficulty as well. That's the kind of stuff that gets appreciated around the time of the championship season. SECs, regionals, and NCAA championships, which will be held this year at the University of Florida in Gainesville.
Definitely the highest level of difficulty we've seen so far on this event.
Nice job for the Olympian Marissa King from Great Britain. We'll be back with her score and more of the third rotation. Don't go away. Mark Connor and Kathy Johnson-Clark welcome you back to the Coleman Coliseum here in Tuscaloosa. Morgan Dennis next up for the Crimson Tide on the beam. Score for Marissa Gutierrez is at 9.7. Talk about a rock performer. 19 of her 19 scores this season for Morgan Dennis have gone 9.85 or better. He's ranked in the top 10 in 3 events and in the all-around. Number 7 in the country on this event, the beam.
Beautiful aerial walkover.
Just floated, didn't it? We referred to the experience of the Crimson Tide. They returned all but 3 routines from last year's second-place finishing team in the NCAA championship. So, needless to say, there's a great deal of enthusiasm about the potential of this team winning it all this year. It would be on the shoulders of someone like Morgan Dennis, wouldn't it?
Solid work and a great dismount. Just the step on the landing, but a more difficult dismount. It's nice to see it, them challenge themselves by doing a more difficult dismount.
The score, by the way, for Marissa King, 9.85 ties her career high. Here's Miranda Smith having a great day.
Double back, tight position, very open position.
If you like the choreography and music, you can credit Jeremy Miranda. Rhonda Fain brought him in to help build these routines for the Florida Gators. He's a dance major at the University of Florida, former Nebraska competitor.
Very good level of difficulty throughout.
Big pike double back at the end. The score on the beam for Morgan Dennis was at 9.875 for Alabama. So Ashley Priest will round out rotation 3 for the Crimson Tide on the beam.
I know she's going to attack this routine. She was not happy with the dismount on the uneven bars. Didn't come up with a huge deduction, but she was not pleased with it. even though we both said made the right choice, tucking the knees in. She was a little too close to that high bar.
Ranked first in the country on this event, 8th in the all-around. Last week at LSU, she scored a season-high 9.925.
Nice turn.
There's a sense of comfort when she's up there. She
has great concentration, great focus and poise, does everything with ease. Well done.
Beautiful. Expect a big score for that. Ashley Priest closes out a very impressive beam rotation for Alabama. Now to the floor. This could be a highlight. You see the scores already for Ajane Dickerson. Boy, can she tumble.
I can tell you what the highlights of this floor routine will be. Each tumbling pass.
Whoa.
Wow. She actually kicks out of that a little bit. She needs to learn to loosen up a little bit.
Beautiful. There is the standard gator chop in every Florida Gator routine. In case you're keeping track, the music is Whistle While You Twerk. It's a mix by Ying Yang. For her teammate Miranda Smith was a 9.85 and a strong finish for Dickerson.
Definitely the best part of this floor exercise routine. Her tumbling opens up out of that Arabian double front. She has so much power.
1, 2, 3,
Don't go away, folks. We'll wrap up the scores after the third of 4 rotations here at this SEC duel. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Welcome back to Tuscaloosa. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. And everybody's having a good time tonight with YMCA. We're getting ready to see the final rotations. Those guys in the white YMCA t-shirts are the fathers of the young ladies on the Crimson Tide team. Let's take a look at the scores in the third rotation. Alabama on the beam. Ashley Priest capped it off with a 9.95. That is the second best team score for Alabama on beam this season. While Alabama was on the beam, Florida was on the floor. You see their scores there. Ajane Dickerson's 9.875. Florida 4 times in 6 meets this year, scoring over 49 on the floor. So here are the team standings. By .525, a little over a half a point, the home team, Alabama, in the lead as we go to the fourth and final rotation. Alabama will be on the floor and Florida on the beam. Courtney Gladys now for Florida on the beam in the key role of leadoff performer, Kathy.
Saved it. It'll be a fairly significant deduction. Anytime you break at the waist and bend over, it's more of a deduction than a simple balance break.
Typically she's consistent here. She said this is her favorite event because it's 4 feet off the ground. She's typically very calm here.
Very solid other than that one balance break in the middle of the routine.
Gladys, typically a leadoff performer for the Gators. Back to the floor, Marissa Gutierrez. You see her scores from her previous performances tonight. Last week against LSU had her career high on this event at 9.9. Kathy, we talked to assistant coach Brian Rochilla before the meet, and he talked about pacing these young ladies throughout the season. And he said, you know, you want to be there in April, and you got to save yourself a little bit for that time of the year, don't you?
You just read my mind. That's exactly what I was thinking. They haven't put all their difficulty in this event yet.
So if they're going to open up with a double layout or a full shifting double back, maybe they only do a tuck double for the opening pass, but still finish with a big pike double.
Good leadoff.
Marissa Gutierrez. Fantastic effort for the freshman out of Houston, Texas. Elizabeth Malich now on beam floor.
Bart, one of the only problems in women's collegiate gymnastics really is the scoring system, that it doesn't reward the high level of difficulty enough so you don't get that separation. That said, it allows gymnasts to not have to go for the hardest skills early in the season. You can still score very, very well. But I know that it's something that the coaches have talked about that at some point needs to be addressed.
Courtney Gladys for Florida opened up on beam with a 9.825. We did talk to Rhonda Fain about that before the meet. She said it's a challenge because you want to challenge the young ladies to do difficult gymnastics, but the scoring system creates such parity in collegiate gymnastics, which I think that's why 12,466 people are here. We have a great contest every meet, but some of the rules need to be tweaked a little bit, I think, to reward the higher level difficulty.
It's a nice dismount combination, aerial cartwheel into the back with a full twist.
Elizabeth Malich. Gutierrez's score for Alabama on the floor was a 9.775. Cassie Price, you see her scores today.
Nice to see her do so much with some dramatic, inspiring music.
All right, we'll be back with the score for Cassie Price. Don't go away, folks. This is going to be close. Mark Connor and Kathy Johnson-Clark, we're back now. Randy Stageberg. We have not yet seen her today. This is her attempt on the beam. Stageberg, just a freshman, says floor exercise is actually her favorite event, and she's strongest on beam and floor.
Doing a terrific job so far. A couple tiny little balance breaks. I like balance checks.
She's a highly recruited young freshman, 3-year member of the U.S. national team. 2006 U.S. Championship, she shared the floor title with Alicia Sacramone, who of course was a member of that Olympic team in Beijing in 2008.
Good routine. One to be happy with.
Back to Alabama on the floor. Geraldine Stack-Eaton. Look at that, folks. The 9.925 in vault and the 9.9 on beam. 2 career-high ties for her, having a great day. Let's see if she can cap it off here with a great floor routine. Oh, nice.
Very well done.
Team was introduced tonight, they pointed out the fact that 3.56 is the team GPA, the highest of any sports team on the campus here at Alabama. Quite proud of their student athletes. Wow.
It was a beautiful double pike. Many of the gymnasts are performing that skill. She does it really nicely.
She is a very polished young gymnast. Fantastic. The sophomore out of Horsham, Pennsylvania. Nice job for the Crimson Tide. Marissa King now for Florida on the beam.
Oh, that's nice. 2-foot landing. Aerial front.
Known for her high degree of difficulty and originality on this event in particular.
Russian just a little bit. She needs to slow down just a tad.
The score for her teammate Stageberg was 9-8.
Good routine. I think she just started rushing and trying to get off.
Can't blame her. Look at this, Ricky Lebiger now on the floor. Career high today in the vault. Her teammate Geraldine Stack-Eaton, a 9.925, a career high tie for her. What a day for Geraldine Stack-Eaton in the all-around. Had a career this year against Arkansas, scoring a 9.925 on this event.
About team support. So clean throughout this entire competition, really, particularly on the landings. She's done an excellent job of really nailing these landings.
Ricky Levagern will come back with her score. Don't go away. We're back in Tuscaloosa. Liz Green now. You see her score on the floor for Florida. Score for Marissa King before the break was a 9.675.
Look how high she is up on toe. That's gorgeous. Kind of a lost art now in women's gymnastics. Such an emphasis on tricks, skills, leaps, jumps.
This is her favorite event. Ranked 13th in the United States on this 9.831 season average.
It's nice to see attention to detail. Very pretty jump. Risky. Head goes back, eyes go off the balance beam. Nice flexibility here. That's an element I haven't seen in a long time. Anita scale.
It's nice to see some originality.
Very pretty routine. And as you said, it's nice to see the original moves or moves that have come back.
Job for Liz Green, the freshman in her favorite event. Ashley Priest now, look at that, 9.95, tied her career high on the beam. Also having a great day. So Geraldine Stack and Ashley Priest looking for potentially career high all-around scores today, right here at home. Of career best tonight. Ricky Levagern, her floor score was a 9.925. That ties her career high. We could likely be looking at a season best score for the Crimson Tide tonight.
What enjoyable choreography from start to finish.
When we come back, the final two performances. Ajane Dickerson from Florida will be on the beam, and Alabama's Morgan Dennis on the floor. Welcome back to Coleman Coliseum. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Ajane Dickerson now. You see her scores from the three previous events. Final performer for the Gators on this event. Liz Green had a 9.875, a career high.
Florida has done a really nice job competing here in front of a big crowd. Many of these gymnasts, first year competing at the collegiate level, showing a lot of poise, confident routines that we're seeing from young gymnasts.
Dickerson, a very strong level 10 competitor in the U.S. prior to joining Florida.
A little bit of a long pause there, but wow, she came up with a great landing.
If I were going to do a double back, I'd wait a while too, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Besides being a great gymnast, she's actually an expert in sign language. How about that? Ajane Dickerson. And here is the final performance of the night. Morgan Dennis.
And this is always a highlight.
Sure is.
Competition.
Ranked 9th in the country on this event. Oh, wow.
That is as pretty as gymnastics gets. Stretched body, double out, height. Very explosive, but very pretty in those positions.
And somehow effortless looking. That's remarkable. Score for Ashley Priest on floor was a 9.875.
Tumbling.
Great finish for Morgan Dennis. 12,466 fans, and almost all of them on their feet. She is well loved here, and the home crowd knows that they have a team that's capable of winning it all this year.
Take a look at this. What gorgeous gymnastics. And as you said, Bart, effortless. Stretch, double layout. High as can be.
And a score for Morgan Dennis for Alabama on the floor. A 9.975 ties a career high. What a great finish to an awesome night for the Crimson Tide. Here are the final scores in the final rotation. For Florida on the balance beam, Ajane Dickerson had a 9.825. And for Alabama on the floor, Morgan Dennis capped it off with a 9.975. So the final team score, let's do an event-by-event comparison. The Crimson Tide had season best scores on the vault and the floor to end up with a 197.425. And Florida had season best performances on the vault and the beam to end up with a 196.6. Both teams scoring their second best score of the season this year. Let's go down to Kathy Johnson-Clark.
Huge night for Alabama. Sarah, is this what you wanted and expected from your team after the loss at LSU?
Well, I think that champions rebound when they have difficulties and challenges, and that's exactly what these ladies did. I'm extremely proud of them. They want the nation to know they're going to be a team to contend with down the road.
And Geraldine, career night by 0.2 of a point. Your feelings about all this?
I feel really great about my performance, and I'm just glad that I could contribute with the team and that I did the best that I could.
And Ricky, I have referred to you often throughout your entire career as the Rock. No matter where you are, lead off, you come up with huge scores. Tell me what this means in your senior year.
You know, just coming in as a freshman, just making myself confident. I think it's really come forward to this year, and just knowing that going into the, leading up to nationals, this is what we want in any position that we can count on anybody right now, and that's what we want.
Great job tonight. Good luck the rest of the season.
Another great night of gymnastics competition in the SEC. For Kathy Johnson-Clark, I'm Bart Connor. Thanks for watching. Once again, our final score. With a score of 197.425, Alabama has now notched the top 2 scores in the NCAA this year. Join us Thursday, February 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU for the University of Georgia at Florida. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.